The intro. Hello everyone, and now welcome to a matchup. This is going to be Infi versus Romantic here on Swamped Temple. Infi spawning as the red orc over here on the bottom right. Meanwhile, on the top left, we have Romantic spanning as the blue human. Now, the Twitch chat and I, or maybe just Fat Pumpkin and I, were talking about things that we want to see and don't want to see in WarCraft 3 Reforged. And I had basically summed it down to, I want to see an update in the graphics without a real change in the art style. One of the things that is extremely interesting about this, and I think one of the reasons why Super Mario World looks so good even now, I know a little bit of a tangent, is that both of those games look cartoony, and sometime around the mid 90s, cartoons just look like cartoons. And they can be extremely highly polished and still look and still look timeless because well, they're cartoons. And I think that's one of the reasons why WarCraft 3 has aged so well. They weren't going for photorealistic graphics. Like, no one's gonna take a look at this peasant and say, I can't tell that is a computer generated simulation as opposed to real. As opposed to, say, people trying to make the first Call of Duty, the second Call of Duty, third Call of Duty, they're trying to get photorealistic, and they're making it more and more photorealistic, but the downside to that is the games actually look dated. WarCraft 3 and StarCraft 2 actually probably suffers a little bit from that more. They're trying to make it much more realistic, and because of that, I believe in 5 to 7 years, the game will end up looking dated. Hi YouTube, check out Foggy vs. Tho, uploaded same time as this. All right, yeah, definitely check it out. As we're taking a look at the Farseer now making its way over here to the top left-hand side of the map. Spirit Wolves have already been summoned at the Feral Spirits as the Farseer is going to go for a little bit of harassment. Meanwhile, Archmage of Romantic clearing out some relatively easy creep camps. Not going to have any problems there. Water Elemental quickly denied, as you do not want to give your opponent any sort of free experience. Back off to the north, Farseer is going to be able to come and cross inside here. Yes, be able to put pressure onto some of those units as the Spirit Wolves are now adding damage onto that Archmage. Archmage will be forced to retreat as there is no easy way to heal units on this particular map. Peasants also joining in on the fight, but the Grunt I do not believe will be able to slip on through. Now the Farseer strategy at this point in the game is to just try and harass as much as possible. Any experience and actual kills at this point is strictly icing on the cake. If we can prevent this Archmage from getting to level 2, that will be enough. If the Farseer can gain a little bit of experience and force, well, these peasants to be trained and a delay to tier 2, that is going to be an absolute bonus, as we already see a tech to tier 2 coming in from Infi. Over here across here, Farseer only got one kill so far, and that kill was a peasant. Back at the other side, Archmage gonna pick up any additional items. Not quite sure what it's looking for. Boots of Speed, no. Circlet of Nobility, normally an item that goes onto the Blade Master, and instead picked up by the Archmage. A little bit curious about that, but it does give him a little bit more mana and a little bit more hit points and a little bit more damage, all things that, well, heroes generally need. I still think Circlet of Nobility is perhaps one of the most powerful items in the game for how early you can get them. +6 to multiple stats. It is not at the same drop level or sell level as Boots of Quel'Thalas, a Robe of the Magi, or Belt of Giant Strength, which is +6 to an individual stat. Alright, Scroll of Town Portal quickly being used. Stronghold already finished being upgraded, as the Footmen are now going to try and take down this one Orc Burrow. Peasants or peons quickly launching items back as a Spirit Lodge being added. I am surprised by the Spirit Lodge because the Spirit Lodge indicates it is either going to be Shaman or Witch Doctors. As you may remember, or may have forgotten, Spirit Walkers are now from the Tauren Totem instead, as we are also going into a bestiary. Michael Pans, this is the first time I catch you on Twitch. Give me a shout out, Crotaman. No, I will give you a shout out, but Michael, I believe I've seen your name before. Not quite sure why, unless I am confusing you for a different Michael. But yeah, anyone who wants to try and ask for a shout out, as long as I'm not in the hundreds and thousands of viewers, I will try to give you a shout out. I do thank the Warcraft 3 community for sticking with me for over 9+ years. Try to threaten him next time. All right, Tauren Chieftain with Lightning Shield and a Stomp, dealing damage across the board. That Lightning Shield gonna really finish off many of those units as a big Stomp does go down. All right, finishing off another unit there. Farseer may actually be able to pick off a number of units. As you can see, the Spirit Wolves are trying to go after all of those units here. Farseer doesn't have enough for a Chain Lightning, still going after more units. Yeah, this is a replay. I always cast from replays. As the Footman now heading back. Replay vision, you can't really see. The chat is purposely covering up the fact that this is a replay to hide it. But, you know, eagle-eyed viewers will always know. Footman now looking to retreat back once more. Meanwhile, the Tauren Chieftain does want to get to level 2. Endurance Aura will be very, very powerful. And I also believe that, was that Shamans? Yes, Shamans with Lightning Shield and Purge are still always very, very powerful. Shaman, however, going to be forced to back off and retreat here. I do not believe it has Purge as of yet, but the Water Elemental does take a bit of bonus damage. Meanwhile, back off on the far side, Farseer continuing to battle it out. Lightning Shield, one charge already used up. We'll see if another Lightning Shield will be used up here. Slippers of Agility +3 could be picked up by the Farseer, will reduce a little bit of that damage as the Tauren Chieftain sits at level 1 and very, very, very close to level 2. Oh, nope, gets to level 2 now. Shaman still with plenty of mana. We are still getting up more Shaman, and this is a bit of a surprise. Mountain King, no Stormbolt as of yet, as the Mountain King trying to get in front of that position there. Spirit Wolves could try and go back and finish off the Footman, as the Farseer now looking to back up and re-engage. Let's take a look back off to the north. Archmage going to come back around the corner, drops a Water Elemental. Shaman, there's a Purge, and down goes a Water Elemental there. A Purge from the Shaman, causing major, major problems as the Farseer looking to finish off a Footman or two. What he would do for a potion of mana right now, that would be enough to chain lightning down. Hi, Crota, what time zone country am I in? I am from California. It is currently 4:11 in the afternoon. I get to work extremely early at 7, which allows me to do some early afternoon casting. Purge onto the Water Elemental once more. Tauren Chieftain is going to be able to throw down a Stomp. No, Stormbolt from the Mountain King, able to stop that Tauren Chieftain in its tracks. Meanwhile, Shaman with the Speed Scroll still wandering back around. And you got to be careful here. The Shaman can, in fact, purge down a number of units. And Wind Riders as a follow-up is an absolutely brilliant strategy. Those Shamans can easily purge down the only unit that is of a threat, that Water Elemental, as the Tauren Chieftain throws down another unit there. Militia trying to get close in, getting taken out as the Stormbolt finishes it off. Mountain King picks up a Mantle of Intelligence. Units are in a bit of a retreat once more. Population count, 45 compared to 34. I got to believe that 45 is the human player. His army just looks that much stronger. Lightning Shield getting a lot of damage here. If you want to attack that Grunt, you will be taking a little bit of damage as well. Grunt is down to 109. Lightning Shield does not give any armor, and the Deny a split second too early. Back over here, Mountain King continuing to clear out some creep camps. Archmage is sitting at level 2, will not get to level 3 off of this creep camp, as there is going to be split experience between that Archmage and that Mountain King. Snarecaster will get finished off here. Meanwhile, no expansions anywhere in anywhere. Red is, well, see, sometimes the colors are different. 47 supply is the orc. Yeah, so Infi is red on over here. Sometimes the colors are swapped, but Infi is in fact red, as you can tell by the supply count. And I am surprised by that. Perhaps more units were were out of the current fight than I currently imagine. And we're going to see a large influx of units in addition to the Tauren Chieftain rejoining in on that fight. Another Wand of Lightning Shield getting in. Oh, thanks, 42. They might fix the replays. Yeah, maybe. Romantic is on 42 over 48. Yep. Oh, yeah, because the population limit of Orc can only go up by 10s. Meanwhile, the population limit of humans go up by multiples of 6. Always very important to note. Simple math going a long way. Tauren Chieftain gets in a big stomp, slows down multiple units. Lightning Shield coming down. Scroll of Healing to try and counteract. Tauren Chieftain still following all of those units, but you got to remember, well, the Tauren Chieftain is slowed right now. Endurance Aura not enough to keep him up with the remaining units. Endurance Aura is at level 1, so it is going to be level 2 Stomp. Meanwhile, Wind Riders going after the Archmage. Archmage now continuing to back off here. Are we going to perhaps see a stomp across multiple units? But there are a lot of Spellbreakers right there. Another slow goes down. There's a big stomp slowing down 6 units as the Wind Riders could just pick off many of those Sorceresses and Priests as well. They are getting taken down. Tauren Chieftain in trouble. Potion of Invulnerability is available as we are taking a look. Wind Rider going to get picked off here. Grunt joining in on the fight. Spellbreaker there as well, as the Wind Riders are going to be able to pick off many of those casters. One caster, however, to back up just in time. Tauren Chieftain sitting at level 3. Potion of Invulnerability does not have that much mana. Spellbreakers have been keen on trying to remove some of that precious mana, as the Tauren Chieftain, well, has to be very careful. Can it get a Lightning Shield and perhaps use that Potion of Invulnerability? There it goes. Going to be able to stick around and survive a little while longer. 47 supply compared to 47. Who is going to come out on top? That Scroll of Protection across multiple units, but Spellbreaker stealing that and giving it to the peasants amongst all of the units. Tauren Chieftain continuing to fight. Tauren Chieftain could get enough mana. Is it going to throw down a stomp? No, loses mana due to the Spellbreakers attacking it, as the Archmage pushing all of these units into a corner. All right, Spellbreaker is immune to damage once again, and that is going to be it. Romantic taking the game even with the lesser score. Infi giving up, being backed into a corner even though he had a higher score. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it.